people are rejecting it. But there's the converse of that. The dying establishment, like when a woman tries to leave a man that's beating her, they're going to try to break our jaw in the parking lot. We're trying to get in the car. They're trying to keep us from escaping. And so we're at that point. We're trying to get in the station wagon with the kids. We're trying to pile them in. And, the drunk mean, is right there punching us in the face. But at the end, we're getting out of Dodge. We're leaving Egypt. We're going on to the promised land here. And it's going to take, that archetype of the promised land. It's going to take 40 years or whatever out in the wilderness, but at least we're not going to be slaves anymore. So we're in that process of emancipation right now. They're pissed. They're freaking out because they want control. Any fulfilled person is out fishing or hunting or hanging with family like you and I are. There's a beautiful sunset. We're having a great dinner, playing with our dogs, our cats, our kids. These people are not fulfilled. They don't have that. If you study globalists, they are the most empty. You look at Soros or Alexander Soros, they have nothing. So they're projecting their hatred just like a Hitler or a Stalin or a Lenin on us. We've got to realize they are mentally ill, they are sick, they are cancer, they're malfunctioning. We don't hate them. We just politically cut them out and separate them from the rest of society. And we're at that point right now of the surgery. America and the world's going under the knife, and let's hope and pray that it's successful surgery.
We have been lied to for so long. And again, they don't want people waking up. They don't want people realizing what is happening, what's been happening. And again, this stuff has been going on for quite a number of years. But the fact of the matter is they don't want people realizing, hey, this is happening. And they definitely don't want people waking up. They don't. Because again, they lose control when they do. They have lost control. And again, right now, they understand they are losing control big time. They are losing control. And like Alex said, they're not going to allow that. They're not going to without first getting mad and confronting you, doing everything they can to get you to stop, to turn around, to come back to them. They want you back. Again, don't open up. Don't wake up. Don't wise up. Listen to them. And again, it's truly scary. It truly is. But that is what's happening. And again, right now, the biggest threat, they say, is white supremacy. Systemic racism. Bad white people. Poor blacks. Poor browns. Bad white people. And we truly have to understand this is something that's totally made up. Totally, completely made up. But that's what they're pushing because they know that is what they can do. They push that to make things explode in this country, in the Western world. But guys, watch this.
People running things, obviously they're incompetent, that's demonstrable, but they're also kind of monomaniacal, like they're very focused on certain hatreds. And just judging by what they say, their main hatred is for white people who are the majority of the country. They talk about it constantly. They've set up a whole regime to punish white people on the basis of their skin color. You're not allowed to mention it. You're the racist. Okay, got it. But I don't think I've ever seen it on clearer display than in a now sort of famous MSNBC segment from last week. I hate to even play their garbage, but this is just so amazing. I have to play it for you.
Why are white rural voters a threat to democracy at this point? You would think, as we pointed out, looking at Joe Biden's background and Donald Trump's, that the opposite would be true.
We lay out the fourfold interconnected threat that white rural voters pose to the country. First of all, and we show 30 polls and national studies to demonstrate this. So we provide the receipts in Chapter 6. They're the most racist, xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and anti-gay geodemographic group in the country. Second, they're the most conspiracist group. QAnon support and subscribers, election denialism, COVID denialism and scientific skepticism, Obama birtherism. Third, anti-democratic sentiments. They don't believe in an independent press, free speech. They're most likely to say the president should be able to act unilaterally without any checks from Congress or the courts or the bureaucracy. They're also the most strongly white nationalist and white Christian nationalists. And fourth, they are most likely to excuse or justify violence.
So there's so many things that are interesting about what those two two pigs are saying on television. And the most interesting to me is that white rural voters are, of course, the weakest people in America.
When rural people, period, are the
rural people,
strongest.
period. That's exactly right, regardless of race. But that none of the supposed crimes that he mentioned, whether they're true or not, are crimes of action. They're all thought crimes. And so they're the most dangerous people in the country, not because they're killing others or embezzling money or getting rich through the carried interest loophole or starting wars, pushing people in front of subway trains. They're the most dangerous because they have thoughts that those two pigs don't like. It's so interesting.
But the fact of the matter is, man, we have truly got to realize he's right. He is 100% right. I mean, again, it's not that white people, white rural voters, it's not like they're out there committing crimes. It's not like they're out there looting stores and burning stuff down, tearing up stuff, getting pulled over for drugs or whatever, man, or rob banks or whatever. It's not like, they're doing stuff and they're not. It's their thoughts. It's their thoughts that are the problem. Again, that truly is scary. But it's the reason why I'm doing this video, because again, he's right. It's their thoughts. They think, hey, look, man, I want to be free. I want my country back. I want the southern border shut up. I want crime to stop. And again, if people are committing crimes, fine. But they go to jail. There's bail. We bring back bail. No matter where. No defund the police. What kind of idiot are you? Defund the police. I mean, again, people have to realize what is happening. And again, white rural voters, they do. For the most part, they get it. And again, like Alex said, rural voters of any type, they get it. Because again, they're not playing the game. They're not going to virtue signal or whatever. They're not playing the game. They're saying, hey, look, we want real. And that's why they're voting for Donald Trump. But again, they're dangerous. They are dangerous because they don't go along with what they say in the media. Because they disagree with them. Then they're dangerous. If they agree with them, they wouldn't be dangerous. They're only dangerous because they disagree. Not because they're committing crimes. Again, the ones that commit crimes, they're not dangerous. They're poor people. They're poor, oppressed victims.
That is the Carnegie Foundation. That's the CIA. That's the liberation theology at the universities. They know the world's 93% not white. So they think, well, we'll control these people who are exploiting by making all their ills about rural white people in America. But if you go to rural areas, I don't care if you're black, Hispanic, white, people are all basically populist. They're conservative. They know what's going on. They live on the land. They're not stupid.
And they haven't done anything to anybody. That's the remarkable
They're the lowest
thing.
crime rate.
Well, yeah, like what's their crime? Well, their attitudes are bad. Like they will kill people for having the wrong attitudes. I mean, that's what they're saying.
And that's what it comes down to. If you remember in June of 2001, when Biden had just stolen the election, in my view, and gotten into power, he put out that national anti-terrorism perspective, national directive. And he said, white supremacism is the number one threat. Then he defined white supremacism as questioning lockdowns or open borders or forced shots. And so it's real simple. That MSNBC talking point from 10 years ago that all Republicans are racist, they're trying to codify it into law and then define racist as anyone that doesn't want to give up their cows or their farm or be a slave. So what they're threatened by is self-sufficient people because it's a military takeover by the left and by the WHO. And we talked about this when I was on 3 or 4 months ago on your show out of Maine. They are literally understanding we've got the cities, we're about to take the dollar, we're collapsing the border. Who is the opposition? They're already lasing the target that it's the rural people. Remember I said next it's get the rurals, they're the enemy. And now that talking point is everywhere. I probably saw that clip 30 times the last week, 50 times the last month. And that's their next target, just like when Lenin and Trotsky and Stalin took over just Moscow and a few cities, took them 5 years to take over Russia. Who was the target? The farmers.
The kulaks.
Because they produce the food. And if you get them, now you've got everybody. So they're doing as you did a few weeks ago with that incredible lady, a Maoist/Stalinist Lenin playbook because it works. And so this is happening. This isn't a question. This is going down.
They're not afraid of the college-educated elites. They're not. They're not afraid of you. Why? Because again, you're stupid. You're brainwashed. They know they have you. You know, again, man, the average person that graduates from Harvard with a psychology degree, they believe that you can make a boy a girl and a girl a boy. You can do that. Because again, there's no biological difference between the two. You can just cut things off and glue things on. And again, that's the way it is. That's not the way it is. That's not. And again, the average rural white voter, they know that. They know you're not going to convince some country boy from South Carolina that again, you got a boy, a girl, and a girl, a boy. You're not going to convince them. I'm sorry. But that's what you teach a person with a psychology degree. And again, they believe it. They believe, oh yeah, that's the way it is. That's not the way it is. That's not. That truly is not. So again, they know they have you. They know it. But they don't have the average rural voter. They don't. And again, man, just like what's going on with the farmland in Europe and Germany. I mean, again, they're kicking farmers off their land. But again, they're not covering that in the mainstream news. They're not covering that. I wonder why. And again, the largest private owner of farmland is Bill Gates. But again, they don't talk about that kind of stuff either. We truly have to realize what is happening. What is happening to the Western world. And again, they have people. They have the elite. They have the people that believe they're so smart. The educated. They have them. They're really stupid. They have them. They're brainwashed. They're not worried about you. They're worried about the white rural voter. That's who they're worried about. Because again, they know they got work to do to convince them of anything. Because they're being lied to. And they know it. But guys, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a.